We all set? Okay, hello everyone. Is the microphone on? Okay. Thank you all for coming. I see some mostly familiar faces. Today, so far, today is the last regular chant class for us for the next 4 weeks, because this afternoon we'll start our Foji, and then after that, next week we start our summer Chanchi. So we'll be occupied for 4 weeks doing the Qis. Next 4 weeks, right? So, so there's some things some details, administrative details we need to take care of. I apologize for the inconvenience because we had to move from Wei Mountain Temple to Lu Mountain Temple because we need to do some work at Wei Mountain Temple Buddha Hall. And some installations there. Has been behind schedule, and I do not wish the contractor to be experiencing any further delays. So that's why we decided to move the Qis from Wei Mountain Temple to Lu Mountain Temple temporarily, maybe for the next 2 weeks. All right. So let's see, what other announcements are there that I should be making? Anyone knows? Okay, I'm here in San Jose, where we're gonna have people coming here and do the Fochi and Chanchi with us full time. So even though it's small location, but we try to accommodate as many people as possible. First come, first serve. Basically, we're not open yet. Really open our doors yet. We are available, but so we will we do the best we can. Let's see what else. COVID-19. I hope you're vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Some of you have some reluctance to get vaccinated for good reasons. We respect those reasons, but my personal feelings is that you should seriously consider getting vaccination because it's scientifically sound. And if you're not vaccinated, there are some nasty strains, nasty variants that's coming up. I've been aware of it for the last few weeks because of the surge in Korea, in Taiwan, and in India. So it's the Indian variant they're finding out that's very, very dangerous. It's 50% spreads faster than before, than the existing variants. And apparently the vaccines have proven to be effective against the Indian variants. So the Indians are in trouble because they don't have vaccination. So you might want to look at that and learn from that and not expose yourself unnecessarily. It's spreading very, very fast, and you have to be careful. Furthermore, in Vietnam, they're also discovering, I just read it this morning, there are a new Vietnamese variant which spreads even faster than the Indian variant. So it won't be long before it's going to spread throughout the world as well. And my suspicion, although it's unproven, but my suspicion is that the Chinese has an extremely dangerous variant that is not reported. Okay, they're the first one discovered about a year and a half ago. It has plenty of time to mutate and get stronger. So it's there. You have to be careful. Get vaccinated. Okay, I'm going to try to get vaccinated myself, not because I'm horribly worried about all those strains. I'm more interested in California price money. Okay, I think they're spending a lot of money. The state of California is like allocating millions of dollars to encourage us to get vaccinated. That's the final straw for me. Okay. Anyway, for your information, comes June the 15th, I will stop doing what I'm not supposed to do, meaning help out the state of California. Starting in January 20th, we helped a little bit in order to give the government some time to roll out the vaccines, and it helped a little bit, and that's why California went from the worst in the country to the best in the country. Okay, and because we've been quietly helping out. And I'm running out of time. I'm just too busy. Cannot last because I have so much work that's been stacking up. And so with the governor of California willing to take chances and feeling confident about this place here, so I'm going to withdraw my support and concentrate on Korea. Okay. I'm fed up with the Korean situation because it's throwing a monkey wrench into my Dharma propagation plans for Korea. So that's going to change. I'm going to beat up on them a little bit more than normal, so that because even though the Koreans have the vaccines, the vaccination process is actually very, very daunting, very difficult thing to manage, very expensive. And so we need to step up a little bit to help them out so that we can lower the current infection rate more. We've been maintaining it at around 600 per day, new infection cases. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna concentrate my efforts next is in Korea, because we need to the virus is hindering our Dharma propagation plans. I'm supposed to be there actually in March, April. But I couldn't because there's a lockdown. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, anything else? Oh, it's just a way of life. We're going to have to expect more and more variants. I'm pretty sure there's a Chinese variant which is very, very nasty. Okay, it's lurking. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what else. Anyone has any questions or comments? Okay. Yesterday, something funny happened, something interesting happened. So I'd like to share the experience with you. We were eating lunch in a small room behind us here, behind me here, the other side of the wall. And we were chatting along, and all of a sudden, we heard a big scream, okay? And apparently, apparently Chung-in Sunim, the young Korean monk there, he screamed. And funny thing is that except for the women, none of the men paid attention. So that's the first strange thing for me, that the women, they all went like that, and all the men continued talking and ignored the scream completely. Okay, and so we calmly look over to him and said, "What happened? It's something happened to you?" He says, "No." He pointed his finger at a small boy. Okay, and he says, "He's about to swallow something." So it happened to be Chengdu's son there, who was at the temple. He's about to swallow some sort of, what is it? Do we know? What? A marble. Some kind of marbles. I said, "What's the big deal? Let him swallow it, and he'll come out eventually." But it's interesting because because of the young Korean monk's scream, the boy was frozen. He just, "How dare you yell at me?" That kind of attitude. The boy is fearless, by the way. He has no fear. He doesn't like anyone except for Thoại right there. Look down upon everyone at the temple. So to me, I chuckled because Chung-im is a very good-hearted young man. So he saw the boy about to swallow something he's not supposed to, and he could get hurt. So he screamed, and the scream has a fear in it, the fear and the worries. Okay, but that alone, with his kung fu, because his level is pretty high. Okay, quite high actually. He's been here for a year and a half, and he went from third dhyana to third stage. So pretty impressive, and for a young man. How old are you, Chung-in? Sunim?
28 years
28?
old. Yes, master.
You're a teeny bopper.
38. 30.
What, 30?
38.
38 or 30?
38, master.
30 or 38?
38.
38, right? 38. 38, master.
What, 28?
38.
38? It's more like that. More like it. So by the way, everyone, that's the boy in question we're talking. Look at that. He's totally looked the same as yesterday. Unflustered. Yeah, I just woke up, huh, boy? Yeah. But he was even scared. That's a funny thing. He was, what? Is that someone screaming at me or what? But the nice thing about that, this impressive thing about that, is this young man here, this young monk here, screamed to try to protect the boy and that stopped the boy from swallowing this marble. Did he swallow? Did he swallow? Didn't he swallow? We don't know, right? We're not sure. He was holding one marble. There might be two. We don't know. But the point here is that the boy was froze. He froze himself. He said, "Yeah, what?" And so that to me right there, for your information, is kung fu. Okay, the strength there. Okay, in his mind, in the young Korean monk's mind, he was worried. Okay, he was scared for the boy, and number 3, he wanted to help the boy. Okay, so that's very good, and it effectively stopped the boy from swallowing at least the second marble. Yes, did you have something to say? No, nothing. Okay, and so that right there is Kung Fu force. This is why we're doing this. Is that's the strength of your will. Okay, it comes out in the form of a sound. But Chung-Yin, in the future, you could do better in the sense that you wasted. What's wrong with the way he did it? Thoại, what's wrong with the way he did it? That Thoại said, let me think. Okay, next person. Chung-Yin, what's wrong? How would you do it differently now, a day later? If it happens again, today we might try it. We might give him something more dangerous. Yes, yeah, YongHua has some comment. Orange.
Nói cho mẹ nó biết, bởi vì mẹ nó ở gần thì sẽ nắm cái tay nó kéo ra.
Vietnamese translation. We're testing the intertemporal translation, which is not working.
Master, I think he can tell his mom because the mom is right next to him, so the mom can stop him.
Would that work? No, the mom doesn't care. Okay, that would not work. Okay, anyone else? Huh? She's totally unflustered. When he said he's about to swallow something. She said, oh, so? My other boy swallowed something already, so. Yes. Not efficient use of energy, okay? Remember I said 2 things that are not necessary? He was scared. No need for that. Why should he be scared? It's not even his own son. Let's face it, right? It's somebody else's son. Okay? You cannot get personal, number 1. Okay? And number 2 is the facts are that the emotions, the fear, and the fear is not necessary. Okay, all he has to do is to will. Okay, send the voice, the scream should be directed at the boy. Okay, 100%. Okay, to stop him. That's the only thing that matters. Understand? There's no need for fear. There's no need for anything else. But the only thing in play is to stop him from hurting himself. That's it. Okay, so that's why your mind is still not clear enough, so that you don't see the big picture. Okay, you still get your own personal feelings involved. You like the boy. Okay, you shouldn't. Okay, so all you have to do is when in case of emergencies like that, the only thing that matters is to stop him from hurting himself. That's nothing yet. Suppose he's going to crawl up and he's about to be hit by, crawl onto the street when we don't pay attention. So same thing. You have to order him to stop. Okay? So you use your strength, okay, to your willpower to order him. Stop! You understand? Directed at him only. Because remember, the rest of us, we don't care. Understand? So you channel all your energy to that one task so it works even better. See the power when you see? I demonstrated stop to you is for you to hear it. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to you?
Yes, Master.
Okay, so, but that's how you learn. You learn to use your strength that you have, that you developed over the last year and a half. Okay, by and put it to good use. All right, and we'll get better and better. Because it's at that point in time, your sound, your voice is only to convey your will to his brains. Stop! Okay? It's directed so that it's not wasted in fear, in anything else, but it's in you and him only. Stop! And he should be the one who's afraid, not you. Make sense? Okay, very good. So that's it. So it's a small anecdote to tell you that this meditation here is a systematic way for you to develop mental strength. Okay, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger as your skill improves. It's for real. Okay. Questions and comments? If you have nothing to talk about, we can stop. Yesterday I wanted to say a lot of things, but today I look at you, nah, I don't feel like talking. Okay, thank you, Lord. 2 questions. Orange.
A Di Đà Phật. Dạ, theo như là cái con nghe tài liệu trước đây đó, thì nói là thiền đó là không có cần tập trung sự chú ý, mà chỉ là ngồi đó để cho nó tự nhiên thôi. Bởi vì khi mình chú tâm là có đối tượng. Thì như vậy hai cái cách thiền đó xin Thầy dạy cái nào lợi lạc hơn. A Di Đà Phật.
Master, before I read some material, it says that when you meditate, you don't need to focus on anything, because if you put your focus on, there is an object to focus. But then instead, you just need to let it happen naturally. Could you please verify with us what is the difference between both ways?
Who said so?
Dạ thưa, cái mà nói là không cần mà chú ý vào đối tượng đó là một vị thiền sư theo phái tiểu thừa ở Việt Nam. Thiền sư đó cũng khá nổi tiếng ở Việt Nam.
Master, the one that said that you don't need to focus on anything, it was a teaching from a very famous Chan master in Hinayana in Vietnam.
Hinayana meditation is not Chan. Chan is Mahayana. Okay? So you should not use them. There are different methods entirely. Okay, that's totally wrong. And it's because it shows that this teacher does not understand meditation. Just because you teach meditation for a long, long time doesn't mean you understand meditation. Okay? Meditation is, by definition, by the original intent of the Buddha, is to increase your concentration power. Okay, increase your mental focus, and therefore, traditionally, the way it's taught is for you to concentrate on an object. Okay, typically, especially, oh no. Your first time here? Yes. Oh wow, look at that. This neighborhood is going down the drain. Welcome, by the way. Glad to have you. So, the meditation is a training process to help sharpen your focus, okay, and to increase your concentration. Because think about it, in everything in life you do depends on how well you can concentrate. You name it, whether you compose music, whether you program, whether you do engineering work, you all need to concentrate. When you cook, you have to concentrate. Okay, so that's why it's fundamentally, I feel that meditation should be taught to the children. Everyone should learn meditation. Any form of meditation would be good, would be very helpful to you. It's a skill that you can use the rest of your life. Okay, it turns out in Chan meditation, which is the most advanced form of training in meditation that I know of, not because of my association with it, but because of results. The results is that in Chan meditation training, our trainees, our students have achieved very high level of concentration, much higher than the Hinayana level of training, way of training. So that's a fact. It's proven over the history, 3,000-year history of Buddhist meditation. Okay. Now, traditionally, the Buddha first taught the Buddhist Hinayana students how to meditate by focusing on the breath, on the breathing, inhaling, exhaling. So you see, right there, fundamentally, even in Hinayana, the foundation of Hinayana meditation is spelled out in that sutta called Satipatthana Sutra, where the Buddha taught his students on how to focus on the breathing, become aware of the breath. So right there, the Buddha taught the Buddhist disciples, and many of them became arhats, okay, by sharpening their awareness of the breathing. So right there, the object of focus is the breathing. In Hinayana meditation training, well, how could any monk in Hinayana say that when you learn meditation, you don't need to focus on anything? That's nonsense. It's contrary to the Buddha's training, the Buddha's teaching. So you see, that's why, in my humble opinion, oh no, this monk here hasn't really mastered that foundation of the Hinayana meditation training. And if you expand a little bit more, if you look at the other types of Hinayana meditation, whether you heard of metta meditation, anyone? Or meditation about kindness and compassion? Okay. What about meditation? What other Hinayana meditation? They contemplate vipassana. They do all sort of contemplation, like impure contemplation, whereby they contemplate how the body decays after you die, and so forth. Okay, so you can bring up any form of Hinayana meditation methodology that you practice. I would tell you that each and every single method focuses on one object of focus. Okay, so that's why for him to say that meditation doesn't require concentration is total nonsense. Okay, to me personally, and I don't know how he could be teaching meditation for so long, and no one ever objected to it. In the West, you say something like that, it will be on the internet in no time, and you will lose credibility very quickly. Okay, it doesn't work here, but in Vietnam maybe not. So absolutely not. He's totally wrong. Okay, and what's the second part of the question again?
Dạ thưa, từ đó thì con xin có cái câu hỏi là nếu mà đã theo cái dòng quy ngưỡng để tu tập rồi á, thì có nên đi nghe chỗ này chỗ nọ khiến cho cái tâm ý của mình nó rối loạn hay không?
Question is, if we decide to follow the Guiyang lineage style, should we or should we not go to other places and listen to other teaching, and then it may cause a lot of problem to the way we think?
She answered her own question, so is there another question? But I will answer. I will elaborate for your sake. I feel that the Chan training is by far the most effective form of training. Okay, in particular, for example, the young monk I talked about, Chungyin Sunim, the 28-year-old monk. Is it 28 or 38? He looks so young to me. He's been a monk for many, many years in Korea. Okay, and he traveled the world as well. He went to different countries in Asia to learn meditation as well. A lot of Korean monks and nuns do that. They go through the training, the 3-year training, 6-year training, and then after that, they went further, and some of them look for more training teachers, from meditation teachers. Some of them go to Myanmar, some of them go to Thailand, and so forth, India, and so forth. And so Chungyi Sunim too also went to India, I believe. and so forth, looking for some teachers and some instructions, and so he has what you might call a lot of baggage. Okay, meaning he knows a lot. He knows too much. Like many of you, you know too much. You're too savvy. You're too educated. You're too smart, and that's why because you carry so much baggage, it's very difficult for you to travel. Okay, whereas Chongin Sunim is different. He's different from you. How can you go? Very few people can go, who experienced people, successful people can go from third dhyana to third stage arhatship in a year and a half. That's too fast. But the reason he does it, one of the main reasons, is because he's came with he dropped everything. He dropped all the previous assumptions, and he knew everything about Buddhism, about meditation and so forth, because he's convinced that our style of meditation is better. Am I wrong? We should rehearse these things first before I open my mouth and speak like this. You better not contradict me, by the way. Go ahead.
Yes, Master.
Yes. The point here is that I'm using him to illustrate this point that many of you have. That is, you know so much that when you learn our style of meditation, we tell you to cross your legs and not move, and our little, set of instructions, you always compare them against what you know, against your logic, against your intelligence, against your experience, against your savviness. And you say, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. So you sit there and you process the information. Okay. Whereas meditation training is about following directions. Like you run across a recipe from a great chef known, okay, to make Neapolitan pizza. You're going to stand there and agree and disagree on how to go about it. You see? And that's the difference between him, me, and the rest of you, in that I have the same experience. When I first started, I simply put total trust in my teachers, okay, instructions. So he said, cross your legs, I crossed my legs. And then the legs started hurting. He said, bear the pain, so I bore the pain. And then it got to the point it's impossible to bear the pain, and he says, bear more, so I bore more. Okay, you see, I follow instruction, that's all I did. Similarly with him, he followed instruction, that's all you have to do. You don't need to understand. The problem is that you fail to get the point, because this meditation training here, okay, eventually will help you get rid of that processing mind of yours that gets in the way. So you can do it a slow way by sitting there, and eventually, like the young lady here, YongHua in the front, she's into Pure Land, and she has at least 1,000 teachers she listened to already in her 50-year career in Buddhism. No, okay. So she has so many references. So she checks against all of them. So you tell her anything, say, I agree. No, it doesn't make sense. Master Shihwan says so, and the Vietnam says differently. What works for me? Whereas that guy there, all he does is that, yes, sir, no, sir. Okay, he used to be in the Korean Marines, by the way. Okay? You follow orders. You don't question orders. All right? So that's a big plus. When you don't have to check your reference points, it saves time and actually helps you get to second stage arhat a lot faster. Because you constantly have been checking against your reference points, your garbage reference points. And that's why you're so slow. He doesn't check against his reference point. He basically threw them all out. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
Okay? He never questioned me. All of you question me, by the way. You always say, Master YongHua said so. He says, I don't care what Master YongHua says. That's the difference. You see that? I'm not saying Master YongHua is wrong. I'm just saying what Master YongHua said doesn't apply to him. You understand? My instructions are for him, for each and every one of you. Master YongHua is for his disciples and for the other people, not for us. You understand? That's a difference. That's a subtlety. So this is the problem. You listen to so many teachers that give you contradictory information. So you sit there and you process them naturally. We all have to process our information. Okay? That's what we call garbage in my world. I try to tell you, I just like you. I listened, I read so many teachers myself. And I ended up sitting there for 1 year and dumping everything out. You don't know how damaging it is later. You'll find out yourself. I sit for 1 year dumping information because I read so much information in my mind. I'm a voracious reader. I'm a voracious researcher, okay? Because that's my training. I research before I do anything, okay? So I have so much garbage in my mind that it took me a year to dump them all out. You'll find out yourself. You don't believe me right now. When you get to that point, you see what I mean, okay? So my point here is that the garbage, you know, you are not, when you're learning, this is a spiritual process, spiritual knowledge. It's not something you can synthesize yourself, unfortunately, okay? It's not something logical for you at all. This is not the world information where you can synthesize and arrive at another thesis, another point, another theory. This is spiritual information. It's informational wisdom, tips of wisdom that are not supposed to make sense to you. If you agree with the instructions, then the instruction is too low of a level for you. You're not supposed to understand it. Like our friend here, he agrees with everything I say. I say, oh my God. You shouldn't agree with everything I say. Okay? Yes, Orange.
Dạ, thưa sẵn có cái tấm gương của thầy Đại Hàn trẻ ở đây thì con cũng xin xác nhận là nhờ thầy bỏ hết hành lý đó mà thầy theo thầy một thời gian ngắn và tiến bộ rất là nhanh. Còn con là theo thầy 10 năm thì trong những cái thời gian đầu đó là con phải bỏ, mà phải bỏ từ từ chứ không có bỏ liền được. Rồi cho nên là cái thời gian mà phải phấn đấu với những cái kiến thức của mình, phấn đấu với những cái so sánh, những cái phân biệt, rồi từ từ mới chịu bỏ. Cho nên là lúc sau này con mới có tiến bộ. Trước đó là con đang vật vã với chính con. A Di Đà Phật.
So, Master, from the story of the young Korean monk, I would like to confirm that for my case, it's different. The monk, he get rid of everything, so that's why he get rid of his luggage. That's why he increased very fast. For me, I follow Master for 10 years, and for the beginning, it takes me a lot of time to process and then to compare, to digest all of the knowledge I have and compare and discriminate, blah, blah, blah. So only until recently, I get rid of the discrimination, and that's when I start making progress. Before, I didn't make any progress.
Okay, and there's a question there as well. You still have it? No more? Yeah, and then YouTube.
I don't have any question, but I just want to tell you guys, I was
The white, open it, yellow. Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I just want to tell you guys, I'm a beginner, and I was really confused when I started chant meditation. As Master said, I removed all my information that I have heard from other instructor, and I could reach to sitting 2 hours, and my goal is sitting 3 hours right now. At the beginning, I'm very happy right now. Yeah. Sitting 2 hours was a different experience. Yeah. Than sitting 20 minutes.
Yes, very good. It's because you have a good coach. She helped you. She helped you get through very quickly.
Yeah.
If you were to be by yourself, wouldn't be as fast. There's a difference when you came and sought out the instructions and you trust the instructions. That's why. That's why it's pertinent to the point made earlier. That is, you put your trust on the instructor, not just.
And I could feel that my complexion has been changing a lot. My complexion was like I had a lot of anxiety, but now I feel better. I have more, smooth face. So I'm very happy right now. It's been almost 3 months, and the most important thing is that I don't get very angry at my husband. That's really. Yeah. That's really big difference.
Apple, did you learn anything today? Even when the husband is so wrong, you still cannot get angry at him.
And today I brought my husband. He's now outside playing with my kid. Yeah.
I see. Translate that section for him. Okay. Absolutely. That's part of it. Part of the process is that you become less angry and you're able to be more tolerant, more patient. And usually our spouses appreciate it. The one closest to you will benefit greatly from that. Your mother, your father, and your children, and your spouses, friends, and so forth. Very good. I'm glad for you. Thank you for sharing with us. You too, go ahead.
Ping Dun Tingjing asks, Master, if you support Thai monks, does it mean you are only planting Hinayana blessing?
Ping ding ching ching. I'll repeat that. Repeat that. I couldn't quite hear the.
Sorry. The question was, Master, if you support Thai monks, does it mean you are only planting Hinayana blessing?
Not really. This is just my opinion, okay? And I have no proof. I'm not willing to give you any proof anyway. The Thai monks are a special case. I'm not sure about the other Asian monks, Hinayana monks, Sri Lankan and so forth. I doubt it. I just happen to look at the Thai Hinayana system. I noticed that quite a few of them are actually enlightened, are actually bodhisattvas. They're way beyond arhats level. And yet they appear, they accept it. This is a nice thing you Koreans need to learn, is that they somehow manage to integrate themselves into the arhats without alienating the other four-stage arhats. You need to learn to do that, okay? We need to learn to do that. We shouldn't have to alienate everyone. So that's why, to me, the Thai Hinayana system is very, very strong, extremely strong, because of the support from the bodhisattvas who pretend to be arhats. So they're guiding these people make the right decisions. Okay, it's because of that. Because of that, to me, the Thai Hinayana system is really not Hinayana. Whereas you go to the other, the Sri Lankans or the Myanmar people. I'm kidding. They don't have the same kind of levels, unfortunately, and therefore you cannot classify them as in the same group of Hinayana. What you don't realize that in Mahayana we don't discriminate. If we're able to help, we will help. It doesn't matter you're Hinayana or externalist or Catholic. If we can help, we help. Okay, and so what happened is that historically, the Thai Hinayana Buddhism is so strong, so solid because of the quiet support they've been getting. Okay, because the other systems may have four-stage arhats. They don't have as many four-stage arhats as the Thai people. Okay, the Thai monks and nuns, and furthermore, I don't see any system that receive constant support from the Mahayana practitioners. And that's why they're very sound. To me, the Thai Buddhism is very, very sound. If you get higher up there, it becomes better. Low level, but when you get to the council level, they're very strong. Okay, and that's why they make sound decisions occasionally. Many decisions to me leave a lot of things to be desired, leave a lot to be desired, but the most important ones, the more important ones actually are very, very sound. Okay, for example, when you get into the Phra level, Phra meaning great Arhat level, that pertains to you belong to the leadership and you're being groomed to lead Thai Buddhism. Okay, those are selected properly. You don't have bad people there. Okay, because unfortunately, fourth-stage arhats have their blind spots. So if they're not careful, they make mistakes themselves, which is very damaging for the people who follow them. Okay. So the answer to the question, if you support Hinayana people, you get Hinayana blessings, is not true. In general, it's true, but if you support the Thai Hinayana monks, I'm pretty sure you get Mahayana blessings as well. Okay, just between us, don't tell them. Okay, don't quote me. You too, go ahead.
Hai Yan asks, Master, I have a question about retribution. Some diseases are genetically inherited between the family. Does this mean the family has the same karma and the creditor is the same one?
Yes, in general, yes. The disease propagation through the genes is quite commonplace. For example, we have some experiences where my disciples have breast cancer. It spreads. So the mother died, and the daughter has breast cancer, and the sister has breast cancer, and the granddaughter has breast cancer as well. So it's a case right there where actually the disease spreads through the genes, and it's quite commonplace. If you are, another example is not just disease, if you use drugs, okay, it stays in your blood system and will spread through the next generation, spread to your children as well. So be careful, okay? There are some, furthermore, there are some other mental illnesses. The kind of problems we have that are not well known, are not understood by the medical profession, okay? They themselves, for example, the therapists recognize that they can go so far at the initial phases of the mental illnesses, but when they get higher, they're still in the experimental phases, so they don't understand how to deal with them. Okay, so especially mental illnesses, they affect the entire family, and they are actually a lot more contagious than the COVID-19, in my humble opinion. Okay, and so yes, there's the illnesses are spreading in so many different channels that it's rather dangerous. Okay. But that's life. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. All right. Then if you have no more questions, we can stop here today and go to lunch, because we have to start the afternoon Buddha recitation, the 4-chi, at 1 o'clock, yes? Okay, and tonight there's no lecture in the afternoon at 12:30 as usual, because if the 4-chi will have a Dharma talk at what time? After evening ceremony, which is what time? 7 o'clock? 7:10, 7:20?
7:10, 7:20.
Okay, and we have a Dharma talk, and maybe tonight I might teach you another way of reciting Buddha's name during the 4-chi here to help you, because I thought of it yesterday on my way over here. So I used it and I entered samadhi, not the Buddha recitation samadhi, but it works anyway. So every now and then I feel like it, I will teach you things that, and the reason that since the particular thing here, just an advertisement, and you don't have to come back. You can tune in. The reason I want to teach is because it's pretty advanced, and yet you practice it for next year, 5, 10, 20, and it can go very, very far. Okay, and it's very simple, and yet, and it's being practiced, but it's been done, it's been practiced by the Asians when they recite the Buddha's name, but they don't understand the importance of it, and they're not trained, they're not taught how to do it and in particular, when you get to the advanced levels, actually it can go very, very far. Okay, but anyway, if you're interested, and the reason I make the announcement is because it's also a form of meditation. The reciting Buddha's name is a form of meditation, and this particular thing here is a proof to you that it is, the reciting of Buddha's name is meditation. All right? So I hope you will join us. If not, check out the video. Okay? All right. Thank you all. Okay, let's go to lunch.